the In Conversation podcast series, with author Nigel Beckles.
Welcome to the podcast.
Please like the podcast and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.
Have you experienced several failed relationships or been through a divorce? How can you avoid making the same mistakes again? How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes is out now.
Hi, my name is Nigel Beckles. My new book is packed with practical and common sense strategies that you can use to make better relationship choices.
Now you can discover the dangerous myths about love. If your relationship expectations are realistic, why you could be falling in love for all the wrong reasons.
How to avoid making the big relationship mistakes. It's a book that could change your life.
Available from amazon.co.uk. Kindle version also available.
When the Mood is Right, A Poetry Journey and Mood Swings by Queen P. Available on Amazon and all good bookstores.
The Royal Affair
by Queen P.
Dim the lights, sit back, relax, and breathe. You have entered into the Royal Affair.
Queen P. Poetry podcasts, available now.
The Royal Affair.
The very best way to promote your podcasts. Podpage makes it easy to create a podcast website with just a few clicks. Every page is optimized to be found on Google and it stays up to date forever. For more information, visit podpage.com. The future of podcast promotion.
Get ready for takeoff.
Welcome back to my In Conversation podcast series. My guest for this episode has experienced narcissistic abuse within a previous relationship. She is also an author, Aurea Reis. Hi Aurea, welcome to my podcast series. How are you?
Delighted to be here with you today.
Good to have you here. So where are you living at the moment?
So I live in the West Midlands after I born in Angola, moved to Portugal, and in 2008 I moved to UK. Lived in London for a month and then moved to West Midlands and been living here for 13 years now.
And what was your childhood like?
Between Angola and Portugal. And then I permanently moved to Portugal in 1992 when the Civil War started and stayed there until I moved to UK.
I understand you have been in an abusive relationship. How did you meet your abusive ex-partner?
I met him online websites, dating websites.
And how long were you together?
We were all together. We had lots of on and off, but if you're going to count the whole time together, it was 9 months.
And when did you realize you were in an abusive relationship?
That's a really good question. I only realized that after a year after we finished, because I was watching this program, talk show, Red Table Talks with Jada Pinkett Smith and Dr. Ramani. And they were talking about narcissistic people and relationships. And I had my aha moments. It was a deep moment of realization, which made me feel stupid, betrayed, blindsided, and emotional that day, because that time after we finished, I didn't want to go back to the person, but I was still making excuses and feeling that maybe some of the things that happened, he was right in saying it was my fault.
What type of abuse did you experience while in the relationship?
Mine was just emotional, which doesn't diminish the importance of it, because not to take away that physical abuse, it's also wrong, but I feel like the emotional leave deep scars on people.
Well, I would certainly agree with that. So why did you decide to leave?
In the end, he finished with me on a text message. And when I received his text message at the time, because I was already doing therapy while I was in the relationship, and I started doing more things for myself, like going to the gym, reaching out for my friends again, not wanting to spend so much time with him. When he sent that message, I can tell you that I was already a bit fed up of being in the relationship, of all the manipulation, because I didn't know that he was a narcissist or what narcissists really mean. But the manipulation I could see from miles away. So when he sent that message, I actually felt relieved. And I read the message 3 times. I laughed and I wanted to text back something mean just to annoy him or make him upset. But in the end, I deleted everything. I didn't send any message. I didn't call, and I never looked back again. And even people that knew him, I used to just say, I don't want to know anything about it. And I would appreciate if whatever information you have from me, don't go back. And that's it. I just closed that chapter.
So after you left, what type of support did you receive?
Like I said, I was already doing therapy. I continued with my therapy, and I started telling my friends what actually happened to me, because the whole time I was in relationship, people would see that I changed a little bit, but I never really fully disclosed what was going on between me and him, because people had an image of him that I thought that if I was going to say something about it, no one would say, believe me. And even the times that I tried, people would start straight away say, oh, he's such a good person. I think this time, this is it for you. And then will disarm me to say something. But I was honest. I spoke my truth. Whoever wanted to believe me. But the big thing for me was therapy. That really helped me.
So you mentioned that you changed. How do you believe the relationship changed you as a person?
Before I realized that I was in a relationship with a narcissist person, I was still, let's say, in denial. I was still, because you don't stop loving someone. I didn't like him anymore because of his personality, but my love for him didn't die one day to another. And I was still thinking of all the trauma that he went as a child, and I was feeling sorry. And I used to say to people, he needs gods in his life. I'm still praying for him. But then after I had all that realization, I became a little bit cynical, more guarded with men, because all that, when men was trying to approach me with all that romantic approach and wanted to take me out and treat me well. And I used to think, well, I had that before the love booming, where they will treat you as a queen. And then all of a sudden you are in a spider web. So I became very cynical. And for a while, I didn't want to date anyone. I didn't want to even have a man talking to me. And like I said before, therapy helped me going through that, because I didn't want that experience to define the rest of my life in terms of having a relationship again.
Aurea, you are an author. Why did you decide to write your book?
My book started as a diary, because in therapy sessions, I had lots of things that I still had inside of me that I needed to speak with some people and talk with some people. And my therapist said that why not reach out to those people and have that conversation? And I said that these are people that they guarded and they will see as an attack and not listening and become defensive. And he said that sometimes the best way is to write. And so I started writing as a diary, and then some people might not believe what I'm going to say. Others might. One day I woke up, and before that, growing up, I always wanted to write a book, but I wanted something meaningful. So after all that in therapy, I started doing my diary. And one day I woke up and I just started taking notes, because I knew exactly the name of the book, what title I wanted to give to my book. And I knew the chapters, and I knew that the diary that I was doing, I just had to extend it and add some more information, because that was going to be my book. But it didn't start as a book. It just started with something personal on my journey to get my healing.
So what is your book called, and what is it about?
My book, the name is Healing Letters. It says a lot. And it's about emotional freedom and liberation of the soul.
And when was your book published?
It was published on the 26th of February last month, so it's still new. My baby's still really brand new.
What advice would you give to someone who is in an abusive relationship?
My advice for a person in that situation is to call the National Domestic Abuse Hotline. Every woman experience it's different. And they are a helpline that works 24/7 hours. They will go through your situation in detail, and they'll be able to help you within the guidelines of whatever experience or your situation at the moment is. And you can find the number is 0808 2000 247. I'll say again, 0808 2000 247. As I said, I could be sitting here and give lots of advice, but they are professional in what they're doing, and they can help a person going through abuse in the best way that fits your situation and experience.
And what are your plans for the future?
Me and my team, because although I'm the author, I have people behind me helping me in this journey, because it's quite scary at times and lonely if you don't have the right support. So we had a webinar on the 27th of February about the title was Experience of Narcissistic Relationship. I can proudly say that it was very successful, and we're doing the part 2 of that on the 27th of March, which I just realized it's a month after. And then I also have interviews coming up. One of them is with Pamela R. Hain. She just created a podcast, which is Author to Authors, especially beginners. So I'm very happy to be one of the first, feeling really proud on that. And also with Simply Divine online. She's doing a lot of great interviews with people regarding abusive relationships. So I'm really proud to be on their list to be interviewed.
Talking about being interviewed, how can people contact you?
So people can contact me on our Instagram, Aurea Reis 30, on Facebook by the name Aurea Reis, LinkedIn also under the name Aurea Reis. And if you have any questions that you want to send it to me, you can email me on healingletters2021@gmail.com.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated. I wish you all the very best for the future.
Thank you so much for this, Nigel. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Free phone 24-hour national domestic abuse helpline. Telephone number 080820000247. That's 080820000247.
If you are suffering in an abusive relationship, you are not alone. For men, they can contact the Mankind Initiative 01823 334 244. That's 01823 334 244.
Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. Another In Conversation podcast coming soon.